Hello fellow scampers. I know a number of you have been interested in the custom cushions I am making for SCAMP Wildflower. I am a beginner at this, but I thought I would share the method that I use to make these in case it's of interest for you. So without further ado, here we go. Here you can see the current cushions that I have. This is the portside seat top cushion and the coaming cushion. And I am about to make the starboard coaming cushion now. Here you can see the pieces that I have cut for the coaming cushion. The measurements that I made on the coaming itself were around 9 inches at the cabin top and forward, and about 7 inches at the coaming end, and I simply made a trapezoid that I drew to cut these pieces out. The material that I'm using for the cushion is a acrylic marine grade material that I've cut with a hot knife, and a link to that will be given. All of this was purchased at Sailrite. And then the base of the cushion is a fabric that can be cut with a scissors. That is a breathable fabric that allows water to drain. The cushion itself is a 1-inch marine grade closed cell foam, which will float and not have any water in it. When I cut the material, you have to allow for the seams. The seams are 3/8 inch seam allowances. So when you cut the 7 inches, you need to give an additional 3/8 inch on either side, giving 7 3/4 inches. And the length of the cushion is 50 inches, but once again, one has to allow 3/8 on either side. The construction of this is a box style cushion where the 4 pieces that make the sides of the box are cut out and sewn to each other. It might be easier to make a continuous piece that goes all the way around, and there is a way to do that. But the problem with that is you then need a very long piece of fabric, which is much more expensive. This way you can get away with a minimal amount of purchase of material, and you simply sew the pieces together. You can see on the back of the cushion here, I've planned where I'm going to put my Velcro, and you can see those there. Additionally, you have to have a zipper, and here is the line where the zipper is going to go, a nice straight line. You must have a zipper in order to be able to turn the cushion inside out and get the foam inside the cushion. Here I have 1/4 inch basting tape on the back of the zipper so that I can tape the zipper straight to that line and make sure it's in the right spot, and there is the basting tape. Here is the zipper taped now into position on the inside of what will be the inside of the cushion, held in place with basting tape, and now I'll be able to sew it into place. Here is the zipper partially sewn on now, and what I have to do now is open the ends of it and put the pull in so that the zipper can then be opened from the other side and the ends sewn down. So what I've done here is I've sewn on the outside a small guard for where the zipper is going to go, and it goes across the open zipper on the inside to close it off. And then on this side, I've reinforced the zipper there. And now what I'm going to do is open the fabric up with a seam ripper, and this fabric does not need to be finished on the edge. It should hold. And then I will open and close the zipper, and it should now be working correctly. Here you can see that I've opened up the zipper by using the ripper for the seam, and now the zipper opens and closes, and the zipper will end up at this end. Now you can see the zipper sitting in a little zipper caddy, and that's just going to work great for protecting the end of the zipper when the cushion is just sitting in its normal position. You can also see my marks as I'm getting ready to sew the Velcro on. You can now see all the Velcro pieces are sewn on, and these are 3 inches from the bottom of the piece to allow for space for the zipper, and then they are spaced a couple inches in on either side, and then 18 inches from one to the other, so that when I try to measure it on the coaming itself to put the mating side with adhesive onto the coaming, it's easy to get it in the right spot by just simply measuring and marking. So some additional planning in terms of the measurements is very helpful here. Here you can see that the boxing has now been sewn together, and you have to be very careful to make sure everything's oriented correctly. And remember that you are making this cushion inside out. That is, the inside is facing out. So the seams here, such as this one, will eventually be folded inside the cushion when it is turned inside out. All right, so I'm now sewing the boxing to the outside part of the cushion, and this has to be done inside out. So the inside is facing down on the upper part of the cushion at the moment, and the boxing is going in. And what I'm trying to show here is that I'm now sewing a corner. Now the corner is tricky on a little Singer sewing machine like this. I think it would be much easier with the Sailrite machine or a more heavy-duty machine. But notice, in order to get around the corner, what I'm doing is I'm using that little wedge in the back there that holds the presser foot up to be level, so that as I am getting through this fairly thick piece of multiple layers of fabric, as I've turned the corner, that it should be able to get through. And it indeed did that when I made the other cushion. Here you can see my process partway along. You can see that I'm getting the boxing sewn in, and there are the corners, and I'm coming along this edge. You don't have to be perfect in the edges, but it is helpful if your measurements are accurate. Now you can see that the boxing is sewn onto the front all the way around, and if you fold up one of the corners, you'll see that it inverts. I can't really do that and hold the phone. The cushion is now sewn and is inside out, and you can see sort of how the corners look here. And with my machine, I'm able to get a pretty nice corner by using a technique of using that little wedge to make the foot level, and then hand cranking through, and it just gets right through. More experienced sewer would know maybe perhaps how to do this better, but it really worked quite well. Here's the cushion now right side out before the foam goes in it, and it looks good. Seems to be fine. I'll put the foam in a second, and that'll take a minute. Okay, here's the cushion with the foam in it now, and it looks pretty good. I mean, you can see the corners are pretty nice, really, and seams are all good, and it lays flat, and the back of it is ready with the Velcro, and it takes a little while for the foam to kind of settle in, but it looks good. So now I'm gonna put the Velcro on the boat and stick the cushion in, and we're done. Okay, Scampers, we got a nice set of cushions now, all on the coaming, and on the seat tops, and they look great, and they're really comfortable, and I'm really glad I have them. So hopefully this video is helpful for you, and that is how I made the cushions. I will put a bunch of links, like I said, in the video description, and I am a total beginner, so I would take this information with a grain of salt. I'm sure there are many people with much more experience doing this kind of sewing than me, but it really did work well for me, and I am happy with my little $200 Singer 4452 sewing machine, which is able to do this job. Enjoy.